Welcome YouTube. So this is Acid Roots. I've got another quick Let's Play project for you, and that would be Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is going to be a run with Tails, and we're just going to have some fun with it. Now the only difference is my Genesis package, which is not an actual Sega Genesis, but it's one of the 30 pack of games that came out, but it's not the one that Sega dropped. It's a different company, so that's kind of why the sound is not quite as crisp as the original Sega game. But I think it should provide an interesting light. I mean, it's still the same game, just with weaker sound, so that's about it. But yeah, I prefer to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Tails. I mean, ultimately you're not going to be able to beat the game with Tails, but he'll help you through probably a good 70 or 85% of the game. That's the thing to know, and at the time this was one of the quickest games on the market. Mario was different, and this just kind of had like some fastness to it. I mean, everyone, for the most part, I think likes some degree of speed. So it's a very affable game, and I'm gonna have some fun with it. I have a history with it. It's probably one of the first Sega games I played. And I could never complete this game because the final boss you have to defeat without being able to use rings or tails. So this is kind of the thing, and so I struggled with it when I was like 6 and 8 and 12, but I think all this time later I should be able to kind of complete this. I probably should have done this before. I've had this Sega Genesis device for the past 4 years now, but I just never got around to it. I really need to get the one that Sega dropped, because that had like 30 or 40 games on it, including the Sega version of Earthworm Jim. So this is kind of, I don't know. But the problem with it is they don't have games like Gunstar Heroes and those type things, Beavis and Butthead, Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. I can't figure out why the Ninja Turtles have always gotten fucked over in terms of like these super collections of video games. I don't know why they never make it to like the collections. Nintendo doesn't do it, Sony didn't do it. I mean, I don't know if Sony had Ninja Turtles, but Sega and Nintendo just never did it. But they had some really good games, but the thing about my version is I actually don't have Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so I couldn't do that game. I could basically do all the Sonic games minus Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and that's kind of unfortunate, but me just trying to think of how... I mean, honestly, I'm not going to turn into like a Sega gamer because I didn't grow up with the Sega and I don't have a history, and Sega games are typically depicted as tough. So this is kind of the thing. I mean, really, even this game, though, is geared for like the younger set. I mean, it took some practice to be able to, I think, defeat the boss. And I mean, once you understand what you're doing, it's not that difficult. But I just said fuck it when I was younger, so I just never messed with it. But yeah, there's a bunch of games, the Castlevania games, the Ninja Turtle games, the Contra games, Contra Hardcore. All of those games were just tougher on the Sega Genesis, and I never really... it was just tricky to kind of mess around with it, because I didn't want to spend the money. I didn't want to waste the time and gift apparel to get the games and then suck at them and then just forget about them. I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of partial about when I play video games and then I don't complete them. When that happens, it kind of makes me gun shy about getting like the sequel, because I feel like if the first game didn't catch my interest, I don't know how the second one's going to be able to do it, or the third one, or whatever. I mean, most of the time I'm pretty affable about wanting to complete some of these said games, but it's not always that kind of happens. That's how I feel about the newer Super Mario Brothers games. I mean, anything past like Yoshi's Island I don't care about in terms of two-dimensional Mario games, but there's just a bunch of, like, that's basically how I feel with anything past the Genesis minus Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 is probably not worth it for Sonic. But they've tried numerous times, but that's just kind of So I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say here, but yeah, I mean, basically, it's just tricky trying to play through some of these games and lose interest and such. So, but this is a classic. I mean, to talk specifically, you know, to note and denote the positives. I mean, if you don't like this game, it kind of makes me question. I think a lot of people would question your radar as far as like good video games, because this has always been like seen as one of the best Sonic games and one of the best Sega games. Is best of a lot of lists, and that's kind of the thing. It's easy enough to see. So it's probably better. I would say it's better than Super Mario Brothers 2. It's probably better than like Donkey Kong Country. I think I like this game better than Donkey Kong Country, and probably better than a good handful of Nintendo games. Do I like it more than Super Mario World? Not really, but it's better than certain games. You know, I would definitely say this can compete with some of the best things that Nintendo did and such, and Sony. In some cases, Microsoft, but you know, you get the idea. So. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky, you know, to kind of go through this. I mean, I kind of burned through this game because I know it so well. I mean, I've seen it enough times. I should be able to get to the final boss. That's really like the only thing that's tripped my trigger as far as whether or not I can do it. I'm just gonna burn through this real quick. Like Sonic, he burns through everything. Have a chili dog, but I'm actually gonna have Arby's. I could have Sonic, have myself a nice chili cheese dog, but I'm gonna have some Arby's and pig out. You know, I'm not like the Ice Cube song where he says, "I got my grub on, but didn't pig out." Well, I'm going to pig out, and I'm gonna have some fun. Then I'm gonna watch the news. I gotta see what's going on, especially with this. There's a new vaccine in distribution in the United States, and I'm interested to kind of get this in motion because there's things I want to do. You know, I miss Walmart, things like that. So. I might just have to get the other Sega Genesis collection. I mean, if I could actually beat some of these games, I would have no problem with saying, like, it would be worth it, but I could probably beat just about every game on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, but I don't know about the Sega one. This is kind of the thing. Tails is not really helping me. I should have just let him land, and then he could have helped. I'm going to utilize Tails more. If it seems like I'm kind of not utilizing Tails, it's probably just because I have the skill set to be able to do it so simply. I mean, these first few stages are really a cakewalk, and for the most part, I should be able to get through the vast majority of this game without any problems. I was surprised I even died back there when you saw that, where I fell into the purple ooze. So, and it's actual chemical waste, so Sonic could be becoming a mutant. You know, not good. You're typically seen as not supposed to mess with chemical waste. Robotnik could have fucked around with Sonic and wiped him out just by poisoning him. You didn't need a robot. So. But, yeah, I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I mean, I am in my 30s as I saw it, but it wasn't bad. I mean, the jokes were fresh, and the approach and the script was fresh. It was just the fact that it was just unfortunately wired for, I mean, because you gotta understand that probably 4, 5, 6-year-olds also like Sonic, so Sonic couldn't really be like a roughneck. You know, when you think of like other teenagers who have a series based off them, like Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, he was getting laid and lifting up skirts and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes and stuff, but you know, Sonic, I mean, he has to keep it kind of clean. I mean, they're both from Japan, but that's just kind of the thing, so. But it was still rough. I mean, definitely, Sonic did go to a bar in the movie and they had fun with it, and he was funny. He did like that flossing dance and a bunch of things like that, so it was accurate and it was relevant. It just had to kind of be on PG, you know. Just had a chaperone, let's say it like that, so. But yeah, so those those assholes that keep coming out of the dirt are assholes. They just happen to, they know what they're doing. They know it's gonna piss you off. So I'm just trying to make sure that I don't go underneath the water, because you will drown. I mean, I probably should show that off, but you're gonna see it in a little bit. You just have to make sure you get these bubbles. If you do take the bottom path, you're gonna be dealing with water, and of course you might drown. So just get those bubbles and you should be fine. And obviously, I'd definitely say by 2021 most people have seen some degree of Sonic the Hedgehog on YouTube, but it's for safekeeping and such. That was an asshole move. Damn gnats. Damn gnats and they're buzzing. Why don't you go find a light bulb to annoy? Huh. Dr. Robotnik always has, and you gotta understand, for people who don't know, Dr. Robotnik actually has an IQ of over 300. If you didn't know, that would be like a super genius that could develop like teleportation or something. And you'd be like, you'd be able to get to like Australia or Africa or Europe or something like that in lickety split time. That's, just leave it to Robotnik. I mean, people would say, I mean, he could be, but he's a mad scientist, so yeah. So I'm just going to try to beat this in relatively brief parts. I mean, I estimate that it'll probably be about the same. This will probably be about the same length as my Turtles in Time project. It's going to be like the main thing. I need to talk about Tails a little bit, and I didn't really do the mini games. I probably should have done those, but I don't have any intention of being Super Sonic. Just because I could, I mean, I don't want to say I could do it, but basically it's kind of tricky, you know, and it just would require more time, and I just feel like this needs to be a fast run. This is basically a rushed version of a fast game. So you don't really see Tails too much. I'm trying to figure out some ways to really talk about him, but I mean, he's only like 9 years old. Sonic is at least basically of age to drive, but Tails is like 9 and 10 during this, so he's like younger than a preteen. So this is kind of happens to be the thing. He's but nothing otherwise things, so yeah, his real name is Miles, so it's kind of a pun on speed. You saw that at the beginning, miles per hour, which is miles per hour, so it's kind of good. Those bumpers are really a pain in the ass. I mean, I was trying to get to like the gambling things, because you can actually play some games in this, and you know, depending upon which character you get. I mean, obviously, if you get Robotnik, you're gonna have you're gonna lose rings, but if you get like the jackpot, you get like 100 or 300 or something like that. Basically, good stuff. Sonic gives you about 20, and Tails probably gives you something like that also. That's good. But this is probably one of the more favored zones of this game. I mean, most of them I don't pay attention to, but this is just decent. Sega knew that for people that were probably older, it was gonna, like, yeah, let's go to a casino like Sonic. I mean, they're in every Sonic game now. I mean, they were in Sonic Adventure. They know Sonic 3, that sort of stuff. They know that that's a highlight, but alright, so I will bid you adieu, failing at trying to get to the gambling portion, the jackpot portion. So I'll see you next time, and subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night.